Welcome back to RAMtv, filmed right here in DeKalb.
And the pass is going to get picked away. It's intercepted. It's taken to 45.
You get out of here. Sorry about that. As we all know, football and MMA, they're not nearly as important. Thanks, Meryl Streep, for clearing that up for us. Unless, of course, it's a football or MMA game. Then we might be talking about it. Winter is coming to an end. George R.R. Martin has a special announcement. Mass Effect Andromeda is coming up on its launch date, and we get another glimpse at the game. And of course, we'll take a look with Ray at some of the stuff that came out of CES. You're watching RAMtv. George R.R. Martin's inability to release a book in a timely manner has become a running joke for fans of the Song of Ice and Fire series. But Martin in his blog has just recently announced that he hopes the 6th book will actually come out this year. On Martin's blog, a fan requested a status update about the 6th book of the series, The Winds of Winter, saying that any statement would placate fans. Martin wasn't quite so certain of this and responded, quote, "You really think that statements like that would make a difference? Oh, you sweet summer child, I have years of experience with this that tells me otherwise, but okay, I will try it your way," end quote. He then offers a little glimmer of hope, saying, quote, "Not done yet, but I've made progress. Not as much as I'd hoped a year ago when I thought to be done by now. I think it'll be out this year," end quote. Of course, if you watch the HBO series Game of Thrones, right now you have significantly surpassed the storyline in the books. Martin put out a statement last January saying that he was disappointed in himself and took all of the blame for not getting the book released on time. He then went on to describe the stresses of writing. The 6th book, of course, will be followed by one final book, The Dream of Spring. And of course, there's the 7th season of Game of Thrones coming out, followed by one more season, which will wrap it up. Speaking of things wrapping up, Resident Evil movie series is wrapping up itself, and if you haven't had the chance yet, visit the 3D killing room floor of the Hive. It's quite an eerie experience if you want to head over in that direction. Let's go ahead and give Ray a call and see what happened with CES.
Hey guys, it's me, Ray Bolanos again, and this is an Apple story. Now, I get it, some people are tired of Apple. Apple may not release anything new until later in the year, which they are. However, this is from a respected, pretty much analyst. His name is Ming-Chi Kuo, and he has been right in the past about a lot of things, about iPad release dates, iPad prices, iPhone release dates. During the iPhone 7 rumors that went around last year, whenever he says something, it was pretty much 90% right. I'm making up that number right now, but if you heard it from Ming-Chi Kuo, it was probably right. And he is saying today that there will be 3 new iPad models this spring, with 3 different sizes. The 9.7 inch one, which if you have an iPad Air 2 like I do, then that's the size. Another tablet with a 10-inch or 10.5-inch screen and a 12.9-inch screen as well, and that's the same as the iPad Pro. And what I think for real is that why have 3 sizes? 2 is perfectly fine, but I actually do think they should get rid of the 9.7-inch one and just keep the 10 and the 12, or make the 12 into a 13-14. Make it even a bigger tablet. If you've seen an iPad Pro, you know that it is a huge tablet. Who can possibly carry that around and make that as a main, pretty much, workstation? I know, it's a huge thing, but I do think that Apple needs to shake it up. You know, we expect an iPad with a 9.7-inch display to complement the iPad mini, which is a 7.9-inch display, if I'm guessing correctly, or if I'm remembering correctly. But Apple should shake it up. You know, this is the year of iPhone 8. Possibly, we don't know the name. This is, I believe, the 10th. Yeah, this is the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. And we're going to see big changes to the iPhone this year. We didn't see them last year. It was very small updates. But this year, we're going to see updates to the iPhone a lot. And, you know, might as well just bring along the iPad as well. The iPad did change the market as well as the iPhone. Not as big, not as revolutionary, but it did. Nokia is back. But don't get ahead of yourself. If you live anywhere outside of China, it won't come to your country, as including the US. Nokia, which let me backtrack a little bit. When I say Nokia, I mean the Nokia that was left after Microsoft bought the phone division that made the old Nokia Windows phones. Got it? Good. Right. So, Nokia has announced that they will be releasing the Nokia 6 exclusively in China through JD.com. The phone has a 2.5D Gorilla Glass screen, 4GB of RAM, 64GB of storage, and a 16 megapixel camera on the back and 8 megapixel camera on the front. And it'll go for around $250 USD in our current pretty much exchange rate and all that. And if I seem very about it, it's because I am. Like, I don't know anyone who would actively want to buy a Nokia phone, especially here in the US. What a lot of people don't realize though is that Nokia as a brand has so much influence and recognition in countries like India, in China as well, and in parts in Africa as well. Nokia is known for quality phones, and back in the day, when I was younger, either you had a BlackBerry or you had a Nokia phone. Yes, Nokia still has a brand that they could still market their phones to. Now, is this the most powerful phone? No, not really, especially with the 430 processor. And don't get me wrong, Snapdragons are always good, but it's not the A20 or it's not the recently announced A35. But yeah, there's a new Nokia phone though. If you want to pay for importing fees and you want a Nokia phone back, sure. But if you want another phone, just like everybody else, I don't see a reason to buy a Nokia phone. At least not right now. But they're clearly targeting the low end range, the beginning range, which $250 is still quite a bit of money for a phone. For the regular person, I know, but it is not like the $850 that you'll spend for a iPhone 7 Plus. But yeah, Nokia's back. Now, for my final story of today, though, I'm sorry, Aaron, I'm gonna steal some of your gaming news, but the Japanese site Nikkei has pretty much said they think they have sources that the Nintendo Switch will cost around $250 when launched. And this is big news. This is very big news. It will undercut the two main ones by almost $50 each. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Nintendo Switch is Nintendo's newest home console that is supposed to replace the failed Wii U. Come on, let's all agree the Wii U failed. Not that many games, not that many good games, and too overpriced for having such a little power that it does have. But that's my opinion. Yet, if the Nintendo Switch is costing $250 at launch, it is one of the best decisions Nintendo can make. Right now, you can get a PS4, the slim version, for around $299, and the PS4 Pro is $399. And the Xbox One S is $299 as well. And that is pretty much the consensus of pricing with video games. Back in the day, the PlayStation was around $500 at launch, or $600, one of those. And the Nintendo Switch is switching up Nintendo's game plan. Now, why would someone buy a 3DS when they could buy any Nintendo Switch if it's a $50 difference? That's another question. Another question that could be answered in a different video, or if I live stream again, which I haven't done my live stream yet. I'm sorry, but I think this will be a great topic to talk about with you all. Would you all buy a 3DS when the Nintendo Switch is a $50 difference? Would you just get something handheld that's pretty much yes, it has been updated with a newer chip and it's a little bit faster. Yes, yes. But the Switch is a whole different beast, and it's only $50 difference. I wouldn't mind paying a $50 difference and not getting to the 3DS. So is Nintendo cannibalizing their handheld category? Let us know in the comments. Would you rather buy 3DS or Nintendo Switch if this 250 price is correct? I know I'm not gonna buy a Nintendo console. The last Nintendo home console I had was a GameCube. That was only for Pokemon games, really. And I didn't buy the Wii because the Wii was very difficult to find, and the Wii U was a joke. I just play it over my friend's house, who actually is a Nintendo person, and for some reason the Switch doesn't catch my eye. You know, maybe I'm a graphics person, maybe I'm a controller person, maybe I'm a hardcore gamer, and the reputation of Wii and Wii U has tarnished my image of Nintendo. But I have a 3DS. I love my 3DS. It has great games for the 3DS. Who knows? But yeah, sorry, Aaron, I had to take this piece of news, but it's just purely speculation. Would you buy a Nintendo Switch? Let us know in the comments. And until later, see y'all later. I'm Ray Bolanos.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine, Ray. I didn't want to talk about the Nintendo Switch. Whatever, pre-orders are available at the Nintendo New York City store this week. In other video game news,
Sorry, Aaron.
we get another look at Mass Effect Andromeda because of Guardians of the Galaxy.
We slept for hundreds of years.
Shortly after Guardians of the Galaxy, director James Gunn gave praise to the Mass Effect franchise overall. BioWare GM Aaron Flynn on Twitter wanted to give thanks, saying, quote, "Your kind words and excitement," end quote, about Andromeda. With that quote, he also released the new screenshot. Gunn has announced on Twitter that once Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has released, he's going to be clearing his schedule so that he has time to play Mass Effect Andromeda. And let me say, I also am super pumped for this game. I cannot wait to get back in there to create my character and make the hardest decision. Shaved or unshaved? A couple other things to note real quick. The DICE Awards are coming up, and Uncharted 4 is leading with 10 nominations. And before the game has even come out, there is talk of a Ghost Recon Wildlands movie. I hope you guys like what you've seen. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. We have a GoFundMe page. If you have the opportunity, head over there and donate. That allows me to keep bringing you more of these videos, to keep updating our studio and make things a little bit of a better quality. A big shout out real quick to a friend of mine, Zach. He has given us a shout out on his YouTube page. He has 10K followers. We really appreciate that shout out, Zach. We appreciate all the new subscribers we've gotten. We appreciate those of you who have stuck with us and been supporting us. As you probably saw recently, we are trying to bring some RAM plays back. Kevin recently did one with Overwatch. I'm hoping to do one soon as well. And of course, as I said last week, the more subscribers we get, the more hours I'm going to add to a live stream. If we hit up to 24, I will do a 24-hour live stream raising money and donating to a charity. I'm thinking MS Research. Make sure you share this with your friends. We really appreciate it. Check back with us next week for video game, tech, and nerd culture news. Do you, Ram?